huddle up, or unhuddle up, de-huddle. Break out, take your seats. All right, and we're going to get started here in a minute. I'm very excited about this one. So I'm excited to introduce, and I'll let you explain your background a little, but Alireza Vaziri from the University of Maryland. Did I get that right? No?
Yes.
All right, great. It's going to talk about Beyond the Frame, so let's go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here for my presentation. Let's talk about Behind the Frame and AI and the art of visual storytelling. But before that, I would like to talk about my story first. As an Iranian, I'm from Iran, and a few years ago, they asked some Americans to show the Iran the map. Some of them mentioned Brazil, some of them around Sydney in Texas, but Iran is here. So 20% they were asked, 20% identified right. So I would like to ask you to visualize it. Maybe it's like this. Not wrong, huh? But not all the truths. Or this, or this. Or this. So, but that image was not always that bad. It's a long history. It's a ancient country with a long history dating back 1,000 years. And if we search on World Atlas, they are saying oldest country in the world. So, if your perception of harmony in West is something like this. Harmony is such a thing for an Iranian. And Iran was one of the best allies of America before this not recent actually, it's 46 years ago, the revolution, huh? And this is our leader at that time visiting New York.
Vaziri extends a traditional welcome to the Shah and the Empress with a shower of paper streamers and confetti as they drive up Broadway.
So US President Jimmy Carter and Shah of Iran share a toast at New Year 1978. The American leader called Iran an island of stability. But a few months later after that, there was a revolution, Islamic radicals came to power, and the rest of the stories. When I was a kid and a teenager, I always, dreamed to be an animator in Disney. So I started to, draw and decided to go to graphic design. I got my BFA from University of Art in Tehran, 2004. It started 2004 and got it in 2008. Then I started as a designer, junior designer in design studios, working in different campaigns, projects, brand identities, and different clients, some awards. And it was my journey for about 10 years. And I, learned to manage my time as a designer, to meet the deadline, to attend to details. So after these 10 years, working in design studios and advertising, I saw this post of UC Davis in 2018, and don't let citizenship status stop you from pursuing your dreams. So I began applying to MFA programs here, and was fortunate to receive offers from UC Davis, Purdue University, and UT Austin, but then came the wait. More than 8 months due to the mandatory background check process for male Iranian applicants seeking a US student visa. Then, during that time, I challenged my frustration into creativity designing a series of posters that illustrated the real-life consequence of conflicts between these two nations. The world is not divided between East and West. You're American, I'm Iranian. We don't know each other, but we talk together and we understand each other perfectly. The difference between you and your government is much bigger than the difference between you and me. And the difference between me and my government is much bigger than the difference between me and you. Thank you. And I got my first US Student Award when I was out of the state for this project. Then I got my visa, and I had some hair at that time. So I arrived here in 2019. I started my MFA at University of California, Davis, and I started as a TA from the first day, so teaching. And then the first week, I think they asked, my professor asked me to design a catalog for the program. And I said, okay, I can do that. So I designed a catalog for the MFA program of the UC Davis. I used a wide range of colors and typography for showing the diversity, and this project got an award in graphics. Then I started my next project, the virus, because the pandemic happened. So the masks covered their faces, but represent their thoughts more than ever. While we were wearing masks to protect our life under those thin fabrics, we witnessed our leaders' true selves. And we all face a common problem. That was the message for this project. This one also, got the silver award in graphics, and here, and London International Creative Blog, and my interview. Then my next project, Infodemic. During the pandemic, of course, all of us, we remember, in the home and just scrolling. When you invent a ship, you also invent a shipwreck. Paul Virilio, French philosopher and cultural theorist. From the moment that we wake up to the end of the day, we are surrounded by screens. They have a huge impact on our everyday lives, our self-conception, the things we value, our ideas of beauty, the people we admire, the food we consume, and the way we spend our time. But it's not by accident. It is designed. It's attention economy. Carl Newport, author of Deep Work. So we don't need to share everything we like. And then I started research about this. Does social media manipulate our thoughts? We don't have time for all, my research, talking about my research here, but how first part was just visual research about the 20th century propaganda posters, Bolshevik Revolution, Nazi propaganda, World War II in different parts of the world, Chinese Cultural Revolution, and you see the forms, colors, the, size of Mao here, and Iranian Revolution, and of course, the content on social media. And we don't have to believe everything we see, especially these days. So what did I do? Some sketching and thinking, okay, what I want to do with this. I aim to turn technology back on itself as a mirror to reveal some of its problems. To that end, I designed a series of posters using AR with the intention to provoke the viewer to learn more about the information and misinformation manipulation during the COVID-19 pandemic.
meet a new wave of infection.
Iran, part of the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, bans the import of American and British vaccines. از روز شنبه همه روانها به صورت عادی خواهد بود در کشور.
And some awards for this one as well. So I got my MFA finally from UC Davis, and the last quarter, that was quarter system, I started to applying for academic jobs, and I received this offer from UTEP, assistant professor at University of Texas, El Paso. So I moved to El Paso from California to Texas, and I was thinking to start my new project, so some new posters and this kind of things. Then in 2022, a wave of events sparked widespread protests against the Islamic regime, both within Iran and across the global diaspora. And I designed this poster and I posted this on my LinkedIn, because they changed the country name from Iran to Islamic Republic of Iran after that revolution 46 years ago. And it's spread quickly. And Zeigmeister also shared that on his profile. And then I decided to start my new project based on this poster, Beautiful Iran. Through this project, I tried to illustrate the beauty of my homeland and the brutality of what's happening there. Pictures that can be used as ads to attract tourists stand in contrast with the faces of freedom fighters. There was a card in the center, red card. Before opening the card, there is a hard-to-read paragraph about that place. For example, about that Shiraz or that city. But when you open the card, the main message was on there. Flipping them reveals a story about a person killed in that city. Freedom is a fragile thing, and it's never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Silver award in the graphics and some exhibitions, the different cities. And then next project was Ancient Fables, working with Professor Duke from Department of Music at UTEP to bring to life our shared vision of celebrating the multicultural richness of fables through the art of opera. We both referred to several sources, and we selected this book, Kelile and Demne, the oldest collection of fables, back to 300 BC. It consists of 15 chapters containing lots of fables whose heroes are animals. A remarkable animal character is the lion, who played the role of the king. He has several ox, while the two jackals of the title, Kelile and Demne, appear both as narrator and protagonist. These are the Persian minotaurs and related to 100 years ago, and my students engage with these stories, starting to illustrate them. And that was my first experience incorporating AI in 2022 for this project. DALL-E, the first DALL-E, zero DALL-E maybe. We decided to write a proposal for this, and we did this opera based on this project. Then, after 2 years, I started my current position at UMD. So I moved to Maryland College Park, and I started another project, Home Far From Home, a photo book, a 13-year exploration of identity, displacement, and resilience, tracing the 5 decades of Iranian migration to the USA. This is what I'm working on right now. And I'm a creative director and designer of this book with the photographer of Hossein Fatemi, a 2-time WordPress Photo Award winner. A few weeks ago, I got gold in UCDA for this project as well. Okay, now, AI. Visual storytelling, huh? So I talked about myself as a human, but let's talk about AI now. Why? As a partner, collaborator, or replacement. AI has infiltrated fields from illustration to filmmaking, altering how visual narratives are conceived, crafted, and consumed. This transformation is not merely technological, but philosophical, challenging long-held assumptions about creativity, authorship, and the essence of artistic expression. Does this diminish the creative agency? This was a very good project. Recommend to check Pentagon project about this government's website, performance.gov. They did this last December, I think. I do believe AI will make a good designer great, and there is no longer a place for mediocre ones. AI is here to support rather than dictate the creative process. And we must adopt by refining our approaches, acquiring new skills, and re-examining core principles to craft human-centered experiences. This shift demands innovation in design education. In spring and later fall 2024, I developed a new junior level course aimed at redefining visual storytelling by integrating tools such as AI into the creative process. The course commences with 3 foundational exercises to cultivate narrative self-awareness rooted in established design principles. First week, the students present a 5-minute presentation of themselves as a creative person, starting personal stories, artistic influences, and motivational drivers. Next, they composed 3 reflective paragraphs on transformative life moments in their life, which they then expand into a 3-spread, 6 pages book. Each spread integrates text and imagery, employing typography to amplify narrative flow, paper collage for tactile richness, and original illustration for personal resonance. Illustration one, for example, one example, or collage one. Then they should design a cover for that. And then I ask them to choose a product they use every day, something they generally like and trust, whether it's their pencil, headphone, or even their shoes. Their challenge to craft a compelling ad story for it. The final deliverable, a short video advertisement created using any technique they prefer, from photography to animation to AI-generated motion graphics or any technique they want. First step is inspired by famous 6-word story, for sale, baby shoes, never worn. It shows how powerful short storytelling can be. Students create their own 6-word stories slogans for the chosen product, capturing its core idea. Cold morning, warmth in the cup. Countless walks, endless memories. Where weary minds rest, fairy dreams start. Now, these are the products. So it was a fully in-class assignment, no phones, no laptop, no ChatGPT, just pen and paper. And then students begin developing concepts centered on those items. Those macro stories lay the groundwork by translating language into visual. I encourage a comprehensive creative process, leading students from initial concepts and storyboard sketches to the development of narrative where visual, sound, and text work in harmony. And after receiving feedback from each other and making necessary revisions, a student move into the production phase. Each of them compile their work into a detailed Behance project, documenting the entire project from concept development to final execution. For example, this one, Mariana, she did this project just with photography for a Nike shoe she liked. They should have a key visual for this project.
So why do I always wear the same shoes? They're just perfect too. We all have our own story. Do you remember it? Just do it.
Or another student, animation, motion graphic.
You're a good boy. Easy part.
And this student with AI.
I'm Rose Fernandez, and I'm a junior in the graphic design program here at the University of Maryland. As a part of this symposium regarding teaching artists in the age of AI, I'm here with Professor Vaziri to show you how I made a commercial for Bose noise-canceling headphones entirely out of AI. As a part of the modern graphic design course, Art 356 for Professor Vaziri's class, Graphic Design Processes, we had to accept the role that AI is playing in our world. For this project, we had to use AI as a tool, which means I had to change my viewpoint just a little bit. It was my teammate, not my competitor. My objectives for this project were to create an advertisement for a household item, create a key visual, and use AI tools. I chose my Bose headphones, and I looked at other ad campaigns with other headphones to get inspiration for noise-canceling brands. I decided to make my commercial about the noise-canceling ability transporting the user to another world. So I made sketches regarding that for my key visual, where the user uses the headphone to transport to another world. To create the visual, I opened Adobe Firefly, which is an Adobe software that creates AI images. Once you get into Adobe Firefly, you open the search bar, you video based on viewing.
We don't have time for all of this, so let's watch her final video.
The clip we just generated had the train going backwards instead of forwards. As I mentioned, you may have to do this a few times because this technology is still very new, so the more vague it is, the more likely it is to mess up and not give you the result you want. This required me to do this quite a bit to get exactly what I wanted. Even if you have a super detailed prompt, you can still get videos that are exactly correct. Because the technology is so new, it's going to make mistakes until it's better developed. It took me multiple tries to get even the simplest of scenes to go the way I wanted them to. Once I had all my clips finished, it was time to start making my final commercial. After having all my AI clips and all of my sounds in CapCut, this is my final result.
So I asked them to reflect on this question. Why did you use or choose not to use AI in this project? Rose, I use AI because it helps me overcome traditional barriers. Things that used to be hard or costly can now be made more efficiently and creatively. Mariana, the Nike one, I choose not to use AI because this was a personal project. I wanted to tell my story in my own visual tone. I didn't use AI because I enjoy the process of drawing and animation. I want to build those skills from the ground up and understand the fundamentals firsthand. So, sorry, my my time management is so bad. So I did this project and I did some paper for this. Let's get back to this code. When you invent the ship, you also invent the shipwreck. Thank you so much.